But of course, you've got now get the Chrissie Mayr podcast, which is on iTunes and the video version on Spreaker. But I first became aware of you through the Wet Spot, which is still active and it's on Compound Media.
Oh, yeah.
But I keep hearing, as a fan, by the way, not as a gossipy guy, but I keep hearing that there's sometimes issues with Compound and that like bosses are the management's moving around or the fucking software for the hosts or whatever keeps changing and there's fucking issues like that. As you can tell, I'm a very good public speaker. But so what's going on with Compound? Is the Wet Spot going to stay there? Is it going to go back to the studio recordings? Or what's the fucking deal?
We kind of have to wait and see what comes out from the state of New York in terms of like letting people gather, right? Like what's legal, you know what I mean? We are as a news organization, a like essential business or whatever. It's like me and Figs, we could go back to the studio today, and it's just that we're not allowed to have like unnecessary personnel. Like we're not allowed to have like a certain number of guests in there. I think I don't know if it's 10 or something. I'm perfectly fine with doing it. I just think the general consensus is of like everybody else is not super keen on going back into the city and going to do, podcast appearance. Like right now, it is just easier to do it on Zoom. You do have access to just about anybody. Whereas like when it comes to coming into the studio, you're kind of limited to whoever's in town. And right now there's kind of no reason to be in town because the comedy clubs are not opened up yet.
That's actually one of the things about this fucking year that pisses me off so much is because, well, the very abridged version is that in 2018 I had a lot of money problems. And then 2019 I was able to get that all sorted. So 2020, I was supposed to have a very relaxed year of half as much work. And
oh, you were? Okay.
I had interviewed Dave Landau years ago, a couple of years ago, and he and I got along very well. And we sort of stayed in contact, like not like tweeting every day, but like once a month, be like, "Oh, Dave, look at this picture of a fucking stupid," and stuff like that. It was Chloe LeBranche's words, not mine. But I was invited to go because I was supposed to be going to New York, and he said that I could come to, well, not be on the Kumi show, but I could come watch it be recorded live.
Ooh.
But he did say I could do a fair one.
Okay.
With him, and I was like, fuck yes, I'll go there and I'll never leave. And next thing you know, it's the Anthony and Adam show, and we'll debate over who's the racist one. It'd be great. And then some fucking bad-eating ruined everything. And I'm stuck here.
Nobody ate a bat.
They did. Some guy told me. There's proof. And I'm stuck here getting in shape, growing abs, and I'm raging. But I don't let it get to me. I don't hold grudges.
Yeah, just keep your abs up, and they'll be ready for when you do come to New York, and you can do the shows and hang out at Compound, and it'll be great. And then there's a great bar next door called Sullivan's that you can go to and drink with Gino, and it's like there are all these like things to tick off for like Compound fans. It's like do a shot with Gino, I don't know, stare at my boobs, get a sweaty hug from Big A. I don't know. We should make a list. That's funny.
Bang Karen Freehand again.
Yeah.
Oh, sex. But do you think in a weird way that COVID is the best thing that's ever happened to podcasting?
That's a great observation. I think so. I think if you have ever wanted a podcast and you haven't started one in the last couple months, then you're fucking never going to do it, because this was the perfect opportunity. And it was really a blessing for me because I was able to really focus on it. And I went from like, I don't know, maybe a couple hundred of YouTube subscribers to now I have like over 1,000, which means I can do live streaming. And I really like kicked myself in the ass and like forced myself. I taped like something like I put 30 episodes out just in, I don't know, maybe 6 weeks or something. So I really like, it was good. It was really good for me. I feel like it really kicked my podcast into high gear. And I feel like, you know, I'm doing the best I can with like what I have. But it's good. You have to look for the positives in every situation. And it's like, yeah, we're not, you know, we're limited by the COVID bullshit. But like it did allow me to like fucking buy a good microphone and like, get my shit together. And then I just read yesterday that I hit like in the top 100 of comedy podcasts on Apple. So that was cool to see.
Well, obviously, I'm going to hit that with you on it. Fucking hit fucking number 69 or something.
Is that your Chip impression?
Nope. But the other thing, though, that I've got to say about, like, even if you look at, like, Anthony Cumia's podcast, not that I'm shitting on it because I'm a big fan, but for a while it was kind of like coasting.
Really?
Yeah, and it was kind of like, because as you say, when you do the live show, you have to get whoever's available. I'm sorry, when you do the studio show, you have to get whoever's available.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he's getting fucking Andrew Dice Clay. He just had David Coverdale from Whitesnake on. I was like,
oh, wow, that's great.
Yeah. And even for me, well, I do all mine online. I had Johnny Sack from Sopranos.
Ooh.
And he is right wing, believe me.
Oh, really?
Hell.
Okay.
You can say to him, so what do you think of this pen? He's like, the problem with pens is, and I'm not racist, but I got to tell you this. And you're like, and I was just like, I take responsibility.